Gina from hauntedflower.com and hauntedflowerreviews.com, and today I'm wearing my soft kitty shirt, and I have a soft kitty right behind me named Angel. Hi! We're going to be reviewing the 2012 edition of Total Recall. Just last night, I watched the original version with Arnold for the first time ever. Yeah, I know. I have a feeling that I didn't get to watch it when I was younger, probably because of stuff like that chick with 3 boobs. This movie also has a chick with 3 boobs. Just in case you thought you were going to miss that, it's there. They're out there. You can look at them. Instead of beefy Arnold playing our underdog, we have Colin Farrell. And I do have to admit, the first movie I ever really liked him in was The Recruit, where he was a CIA agent. So seeing him as a secret agent again is enjoyable, but the real star of this movie is Kate Beckinsale. She kicks so much ass, it is ridiculous. She plays the character of Mrs. Quaid. The story is that there's this factory worker, Douglas Quaid, who is kind of unsatisfied with his life and decides to go to this place called Recall so that he can have this artificial memory implanted in his head of this dream vacation where he's a super secret spy. Maybe he's playing both sides. Maybe he hangs out with a hot brunette played by Jessica Biel. And unfortunately, something goes wrong during the process, and it seems that he is actually a secret agent but just can't remember. So, the whole movie you're wondering, oh my gosh, is it real? Is it a dream? A little bit of Inception going on in Mr. Colin Farrell's brain. Suddenly, his lovely wife, played by Kate Beckinsale, turns against him, and there's an epic battle of Mr. and Mrs. Smith proportions. And it just goes crazy. And what I love about this movie instead of the old movie is that there's no Richter character. Kate Beckinsale does all of her own ass kicking. She is like the leader of the forces trying to find Colin Farrell, and she is epically awesome and fantastic. Is giving Angelina Jolie a run for her money in this film. Her underworld training has clearly paid off. She knows how to run well in heels and jump from a high height and land on something and stick the landing. It's not to say that Jessica Biel isn't as good. They do have a fight scene together. Oh boy! Both ladies are fantastic, but by comparison, Kate is winning this movie. Bryan Cranston plays Cohagen, who is the leader of the dudes trying to put down the resistance. It's all a little bit confusing because while the major plot twists are all essentially the same between the two films, the story is completely different. We don't go to Mars. Instead, we have the United Federation of Britain oppressing Australia, which is now known as the colony. Kind of reminds us of a point in history where Britain sent all of their disreputables to Australia. At times it's difficult to tell where you are in the movie because there's this really awesome elevator called the Fall that goes through the earth between the two areas because the rest of the world's just been wiped out by chemical warfare, which we just don't go into the details of. Let's just assume it's all messy and nobody can breathe out there. Easy clues to tell when you're in the UFB is when it is more brightly lit and technology seems to be more cool, and you definitely know you're in the colony when it is dark and raining and it looks like Chinatown everywhere. Another weird thing is that Recall is in the red light district in this movie. I mean, they've got all this great advertising and all these big billboards, but if you go to one of their locations, it's in like a shady Asian pleasure studio type place. It's totally weird. I expected it to be more clinical and less seedy. Now, the original Total Recall film seems to be trying to set a record for how much glass can be broken in one movie. This movie takes a different approach. It's more explosion-based. How many things can we make go explodey? And there are a lot. All in all, it's another tale of the rich putting down the poor because they don't like the poor and they just want to get rid of them because they're like, taking some of our resources and stuff, and it would just be better if they weren't around. And our underdog of a secret spy goes back and forth trying to figure out who he is and see if he can save the peoples. He might. Overall, this movie was pretty fun for me. It's full of great action, and it takes a completely different approach to the Total Recall story while keeping the essential plot twists pretty much the same. And the added benefit of Mrs. Quaid getting to stay in the movie so much longer. Every scene that she lives through, I was like, yay! Go Kate! Kick some butt in the next scene. We'll be waiting for you. I think you should go see it. It's a lot of fun. But you're gonna miss those crazy, awesome Arnold lines. Consider that a divorce. See you at the party, Richter. But this movie does have some fun nods to the other movie, like a certain lady in a coat at customs, and mentioning little drop-in things like, oh, I'd like to go to Mars. If you pay attention, Douglas Quaid's birthday is the same day that Skynet went live. Thank you for watching my review, and I hope that you'll go see Total Recall, because I had a fun time. It had lots of explosions, and I was highly satisfied with the level of explosions. And someday, I would like to have a phone in my hand, because that seems really convenient, except when you need to take it out. Thank you. See you next time. Bye. If you like this review, go to my site at hauntedflowerreviews.com. I also have a podcast on iTunes. Please leave me ratings and comments. Also, we have a store, hauntedflower.com, where you can find the best online apparel and accessories from movies, TV shows, anime, and more. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/hauntedflower, and that's where we have all of our contests too, so you can win free stuff. Go to indiemojo.com if you live in Indianapolis, and you can find out how to go to free movies.